Hello and welcome to TB3 Sports Talk, episode 106. And if you haven't been told this, I would like to tell you guys this first. We are thankful for you, anyone who's behind that screen watching. Happy Thanksgiving to you guys, to you and your family. We hope you guys have a blessed one, and we hope that, we can be part of the blessing with this episode 106, right, Will?
Yes, we are so thankful for you guys, and we're thankful really for this whole year, just growing as a podcast, getting to do a whole bunch of fun stuff, and we're just growing. Thankful for the growth. Thankful to be sitting here with you. 2 years later?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Thankful
almost 2.5.
Thankful for you, Will, man.
Thankful for you.
Yeah, thankful for Joel. He's not here, but we're still thankful for Joel.
We are thankful for
Very
Joel.
thankful for Joel. But yeah. So there's some thankfulness going around in Tampa Bay sports. There's some not thankfulness going around in Tampa Bay sports. I'm not thankful for primetime football games. I'm not thankful for the Los Angeles Rams. I am thankful for Byron Brown. And I'm not sure if I'm thankful for Alex Golesh right now because we are recording on Wednesday, November 26th. It is 6 p.m. If you don't know why I'm time stamping, where have you been? You're out of the loop. But today, there's been a lot of swirling reports going around. Trey Schnapp, I think his name was.
Trey Schnapp. I can pull up the tweet here if you want. This was, this was supposed to be a nice, relaxing day. Nice, kind of the last work day of the week for the most part. I know some people might have to work Black Friday, but kind of winding down, getting ready for the holiday. But then Trey Schnapp this morning posted sources. Coach Alex Golesh, he tagged him as well, has accepted an offer to be the next head coach of the Razorbacks football team. And that kind of set a wildfire all over social media, and you had just about everybody between the two fan bases kind of picking up on it. But I think the biggest thing is that we really didn't see any national media guys on 3. The big guys like Brett McMurphy or Pete Thamel report on it until later in the day. But again, nothing was confirmed. Nothing about this was confirmed.
Yeah. One thing. Okay, so there was a report from John Bryce. He works at the Football Scoop. I didn't know this, but some of our friends at the Bay Area Examiner said this. John Bryce was actually one of the guys that kind of first broke the news that Alex Golesh was a hot candidate for the USF Bulls 3 years ago. So this is more of a known source. He works for Football Scoop. He's a guy that a lot of the people in the industry know. He also tweeted out earlier today. This was at around noon. Arkansas has begun notifying other candidates they will not get the job. Razorbacks to hire USF coach Alex Golesh deep in final negotiations, sources tell Football Scoop. The latest here, plus he plugged his story, but that's you guys know how that goes.
And some of it was behind a paywall too, so
yeah.
we don't see exactly what he's saying.
But usually, again, those stories like that are usually pretty much what you tweeted out with, like, Alex Golesh is 21-15 as head coach of the. So it is what it is. But he's a little bit more of a reputable source. This Trey Schnapp guy, he's a radio host, does a golf podcast.
Yeah, this is his bio on Twitter. He says, covering Razorbacks since '96, voice of Little Rock women's basketball. I think. What is that an FCS school?
Little Rock. I don't know if it's FCS
I don't even know
school.
If they have football, do they?
I don't think they have football, but I think they might be they might be a Division I.
Mid-major?
Yeah, mid-major, yeah.
Yeah, but he's an amateur golfer / host for From Shortgrass. Dallas Cowboys season tickets holder, apparently, per his bio. And he's also linked to 1037 The Buzz, which is some local radio station in Arkansas. Which is weird, though, too, because I know I have it somewhere. Yeah, this is Wes Moore, also from 1037 The Buzz. He says, 2 sources tell me Arkansas offered Golesh, was told it wasn't a done deal, and to tune into the radio station as they update the situation. So you're getting conflicting stuff from the same company, the same 103.7 The Buzz or whatever. Yeah, and then there's a lot of stuff with like the on 3 guys at Arkansas. None of them were really confirming it either. I can read some of that stuff. This is from Riley McFerrin. He is from On 3. What's their the Hog Beat is the On 3 Arkansas Razorbacks website. But he says, I think everyone jumped the gun here. Do I think it could happen? Absolutely. Arkansas is super desperate to get something done and have whiffed hard on some targets and have some infighting amongst their money people too. And then later he said, I was told that all this is blowing up against the Razorbacks for jumping the gun. So that's kind of interesting too.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's a fascinating situation. I think the fact that this report came out at around 10 a.m. and it's now 6 o'clock, a full 8-hour day has passed, and there has been no national recognition of this story. The local news, Twitter warriors, those guys have all kind of jumped on it, and they've said some stuff, and they've posted these things, but there's been no. Pete Thamel hasn't been on it. Nakos is the other guy.
Nakos, yeah.
Brett McMurphy, friend of the program. Not really. He just
we saw him.
We were in the same room as him, not friend of the program. But those guys have not jumped on it. And you compare it to yesterday. We found out that Eric Morris was taking the job at Oklahoma State, and that news really popped up pretty quickly. And all 3 of those guys were on that news, and they were retweeting it, and they were posting it, and it was official, and you got the ESPN notification, you got all that stuff because that was an officially done deal. And I think what we're at right now is Arkansas, I don't think, without a doubt, is they're interested in Golesh. I don't think that's made up. I think they've met with Golesh. I think they probably have a contract on the table for Golesh that they thought he would sign today, but I don't know if he has yet. And then this is just speculation. I don't have inside sources on this. We don't have anything other than what we've seen, some rumblings, but I think that's what it is. And I wanted to show Rob Higgins today. He had on Twitter, he came out with a statement. Since Saturday's game, Coach Golesh has been presented with outside opportunities that he has been transparent about with us. We are respectful and supportive of Coach and his family during their decision-making process. We'll remain in a constant communication. Bulls Nation, rest assured, we are ultra prepared for every scenario that could unfold in the coming hours, days. Our commitment and investment has never been higher, and we are laser focused on being great stewards of our resources. Most importantly, the future of USF Bulls has never been more bright. Go Bulls! And he is not lying when he says we've never had this many resources, because I did want to put this on the podcast. Let's get here. Find it. Okay. Yesterday, the Board of Trustees approved an internal loan of $22.5 million for USF Athletics. That is a $16 million increase in student-athlete revenue sharing payments for the 2026-2027 fiscal year. USF is now the only Group of 5 program to be over $20 million in athlete revenue sharing. So at this point, USF is kind of the golden standard in the NIL era for Group of 5 programs. So Alex Golesh, he may go, he may not go, but it might. Okay, so let's start off like this. There's a possibility that when this podcast is posted tomorrow, we wake up, Alex Golesh is going to be an Arkansas Razorback. And it's possible. So I definitely want to speak on, that's possible situation. So this is all hypothetical. We have nothing confirmed. But if Alex Golesh were to leave for Arkansas or for another job, whatever it is, USF is in probably still the best position it's been in its program's history to rebound. They have the NIL resources. They have the area, they have the athletic funding, they have a CEO of athletics who is tapped in and focused on getting the right guy. USF easily can reload from a loss like this, and honestly, again, you're gonna have to spend some of that money extending Golesh. You might save some losing him. I'm a huge fan of what Alex Golesh has done. 21 and 25 as head coach. The first USF Bulls head coach to bring them to back-to-back bowl eligible seasons. Again, they won 4 games through the Jeff Scott era, and now they're here. They went 7-6, 7-6, and now they sit here with 8 wins, potentially a 9-win regular season if they can win on Saturday night. And I think he's done a great job. I would love to retain them, but I think USF right now is a stronger foundation than their coach. And I don't think a coach or even a quarterback in Byron Brown, I don't think that's going to fully derail them if those guys leave.
Yeah, it certainly will be tough, though. I think USF is doing all the things necessary to be a big competitor in college football, and I think the eventual goal is to get into the power conference, and they're doing all of that. I think, all the moves they made, Rob Higgins being a slam dunk hire. I mean, that guy just lives and breathes athletics, and he's on the younger end too, and you can just see how involved he is, and being so transparent on Twitter too. I think that's awesome. Even getting a tweet from him today, and we saw a tweet from him last week that he was working with Golesh's team after the rumors circulated about him to Oklahoma State. And you look at Derek Brooks being the COO of the Athletics, and I think Brooks, he sees kind of what Leroy Selman's impact was on South Florida, and being a former Bucs legend. Being a Bucs legend like Selman was, I think he kind of wants to follow in that sort of footsteps and make an impact in the community, and especially in the athletic department at South Florida. I think Leighton too is a big hire from Miami for revenue and stuff. Like, those are the moves you make to be a competitive team at the Power 4 level. You don't make those moves if that's not your plan. So I think they'll be okay in that aspect. You have the new stadium coming in the news today. I mean, they're competing NIL-wise with, some of the blue bloods of college football. Mm-hmm. But I still think, just from a standpoint, you can hire someone who has all the resources, this and that, if Golesh leaves, but they still have to coach these guys to success. And that's my biggest fear, too, is you can have someone who's a great recruiter. I mean, we've seen that forever in college football where guys can recruit great, but they can't coach them to success, and you're going to have turnover and this and that. So I don't want to go as far as saying they'll be okay without him. They're set up for success, but you still have to nail the next hire if this happens, if this ends up being the case. And I think even if it's not Arkansas, it could be a plethora of other schools. We're still waiting for some of the dominoes to fall with Lane Kiffin, where he's going, because, again, that could open up another SEC job at Ole Miss. And if he stays, then you have 2 schools with Florida and LSU who are looking for somebody. If they pull a Drinkwitz from Missouri's going to open up. I think
Auburn's still open.
Yeah. What's the name of the coach at Vanderbilt?
Clark Lee.
It's
possible.
I don't think he's leaving,
but it's possible.
I don't see why you'd leave your alma mater like that, especially with how well you've done so far. But again, money's always on the table, and he could want to take a bigger job. Caleb DeBoer, I mean, if he loses to Auburn this weekend, there could be a real possibility he gets fired.
Well, then that thickens the plot of the Lane Kiffin, I think, because I think if Bama opens, I think he's there in a heartbeat. Mm-hmm. To be honest, what we're referencing is there's been a lot of rumors swirling that if Kalen DeBoer loses to Auburn and everyone's fed up with him, and he's fed up with the Alabama fans who are spoiled brats, quite frankly, he might go to Penn State where he's kind of more familiar. But I do have some breaking news out of USF. They're wearing black jerseys, black pants, and white helmets on Saturday. A brand new combo, a white helmet with a black bull on it.
Okay, that could be pretty sharp.
Interesting.
That could be pretty sharp.
That was. You didn't get the good right type of reaction. I wanted you to be like, "What?"
Well, I mean, I'm kind of bracing for it. So I feel like you'd be a little different too if you were breaking the news on goals.
I did bad. I didn't sell it. But I do agree with you. I think USF obviously. It's important for Rob Higgins and his search team to, hire the right guy. That is very, very important. But I do think what gives me confidence is, like we said, I think this is the best job in the group of 5 right now. And I think there's a lot of flexibility you can have when you are not, a blue blood program. I think we're seeing that with Florida where, you're a blue blood program, you're kind of held to, almost having to hire a big name, and for that reason, they're kind of like stuck on Lane Kiffin. I've been out. I don't think you should be stuck on Lane Kiffin. I really don't think Lane Kiffin is this type of amazing coach that deserves $98 million and deserves, three of the biggest, college football programs just, jockeying for him. That's just my opinion. But, as Florida, like, because, you're a blue blood program and, you hired a G5 guy before, you're kind of held to, hire a big name. But when you go back down to USF, you're not held to hire a big name. You're not, held to hire a name that somebody knows, but you can kind of look for some of those up-and-coming guys. Like a name that got thrown out, which I think would be a slam dunk, is Will Stein. But I don't know if he would go, but some of these up and coming coordinators who are bright young football minds, that can take this offense and take this or defense to a new level and use the revenue as their first job could be really, really good. And you just don't have that type of pressure to hire a big name guy at USF, a name and almost like neglect getting the right guy, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I think it'll be fascinating to see how the dominoes fall. It really will. I think that, Alex Golesh has done a really good job. I hope the USF is able to match or do whatever they need to do to keep him. I think the continuity is always better than bringing in a new coach. I think the accusations that Alex Golesh can't win the big game or next year can't come back and lead the Bulls to 11-1 or 10-2 in an American Conference Championship game and win is nonsense. I think he really can take the next step. I mean, you got to remember this is his third year. He's come again. 4 wins in 3 years under Jeff Scott. He was building up something that was broken. So I think that's nonsense. Again, follow us on X. Follow us on Instagram. We have, we're updating. We're trying to keep you guys as well informed as possible. So you're going to want to do that. But yeah, I don't know. Anything else on this?
Yeah, just a couple more things. I think once again, follow us because we're going to give you the most accurate stuff, and we'll actually give you the information when it actually happens. Like I just think this report again today, and we talked about it if you listened to the show last week. It's not about being right anymore. It's about being first. And I don't know who this guy is. I know he's got a decent following, but what does this insider know? Like I mean, just going through some of the On3 stuff. On the reporting, he originally got a source this morning that texted him that it was false, but as soon as he got another source, and this is what this guy claims, as soon as he got another source that confirmed it was true, then he posted, and then it blows up. And I just think, don't, obviously in the situation that USF is in right now, like always prepare that your coach could leave, but I mean, don't believe any of the stuff you're seeing on social media until the Arkansas Razorbacks football has posted that he's the next head coach of the team, because it's all over the place. Like there's another prominent local media outlet here that also just ran with this story and even tagged this Trey Schapp this morning that's a done deal. I just want to read this too because this was an article from an On3 staffer at Arkansas, and it was just saying as recently as last week, Yurachek, that's the AD for Arkansas, who's also the chair of the CFP committee, playoff committee, which is interesting. He's telling influential boosters in a meeting November 13th that he's leaning toward a defensive-minded head coach and is pairing him with a great offensive coordinator. He says list was down to approximately 8 candidates. Doesn't mean he zeroed in on one particular coach, but he's known to have been conducting interviews as recently as last week. So, I mean, these are insiders at Arkansas, and that's not Alex Golesh.
Yeah.
He's an offensive guy. Like, nobody knows anything. Mm-hmm. Like, all this stuff, I mean, nobody truly knows. Even the insiders at Arkansas don't know. I mean, I think, like, the biggest thing that kind of was running for Arkansas was Matt Campbell from Iowa State. That was like the big thing. Kind of the focus had shifted on him and that there was possibly mutual interest. And then out of nowhere today, this Trey guy reports it, and that's kind of been canon for what's going to happen in this search, and he very well might be the Arkansas coach. But as of right now, I don't think anybody knows anything.
Yeah.
So, yeah, just wait. Don't believe what you hear. And, there's just crazy stuff out there. But follow us. We will give you the most accurate stuff. And I think, lastly, the Golesh, man, I wouldn't take that job. I really wouldn't.
I think we'd have this conversation.
Yeah.
It's not a better job than USF.
It isn't.
You might get more money up at the front, maybe, but you're not going to have more success at Arkansas. Yeah, I mean, again, you're in the toughest conference in the entire country. You are competing with huge brands. I mean, let's look at how much money LSU and Florida are willing to spend on just a head coach. And then you think about Alabama, Georgia, A&M has all this money. Texas has all this money. Oklahoma, you are competing with some of the biggest brands in college football. You have, I don't know if you guys know this, John Calipari is the head coach of the Arkansas Razorbacks, men's team. You have to, allocate resources for him because you have one of the biggest.
Gotta keep him happy.
Yeah, you have one of the biggest, personalities and personas in college basketball on your college basketball team. So you're competing with a lot of things. You are second fiddle to a lot of things at Arkansas, where at USF, you could be a part of, again, opening a brand new stadium, making the switch to a Power 4 conference. Before you make the switch to the Power 4 conference, being a premier G5 team that really should be a perennial college football playoff contender. You were in the thick of it. You were playing meaningful games in November. The American Conference is probably at its highest point in football as it's ever been. Just great competition, and I don't get that move for Golesh just on paper.
Yeah, I just think it's going to be a couple years, and I think Golesh was a great coach, and I think he's one. I could see him taking the job, just saying, betting on himself, and he's had to work for everything his whole life. I mean, go back to his story of growing up in Soviet Russia. This guy's a workhorse. And he takes on any challenge, but I just think you can be hardworking and you can have all the right stuff, but just in that conference, it could be a while before you really even get your foot in the door and establish yourself as a premier team. And then by that point, are the fans sick of you and want to move on from you? Most likely. I told Colby this before the show, but doing research, no Arkansas coach has left on his own terms since Lou Holtz in 1983 when he took the Notre Dame job. So everybody else has been fired. And I just say this day and age, it's going to be hard to change that pattern. And I wouldn't want his career to go downhill like that, especially when you could build something great at USF and we could be in the same spot in a couple of years. College football's changing so much, and you could be at the same level as Arkansas within the next 2 years.
Absolutely. Staying on the topic of USF, they blew the doors off UAB. I think it was 48-18.
Mm-hmm.
Any quick thoughts on that game? I feel like it was pretty standard USF ball game, to be honest.
Yeah, I think, it started off great. A nice interception by Fred Gaskin, and then he scored 55 seconds. I think, midway through the game, there's a little bit of a lull in the first half. 8 penalties. Some Fred Gaskin gets ejected.
That was boneheaded.
UAB took the lead 10-7. I think a lot of that, though, was kind of their big kickoff return to get the 3 points in the first place. But they averaged 30 points a game, and you held them to 18 at the end. And yeah, you obviously just demolished them. Went on a 27 points unanswered streak there. I think obviously somebody who's really impressed me from that game, Adia Rubin, 5 receptions, 174 yards, and 2 touchdowns, both of which were 60 and 59 yards. And the opening play of the second half, just running over 3 guys at once. He definitely had a great game.
Yeah, career high in yards and touchdowns in the game for him. It was his first ever 100-plus yard receiving game, and he had 174. He was amazing.
Yeah, that's the 6th highest receiving yards in program history.
Nice. Yeah, and I agree. I think, again, this was probably, Byron Brown's best game passing, just specifically passing. Season high 353 yards passing, 5 total touchdowns. Really, really impressed. He is, right on pace This game, he can be, it's the 12th or 13th FBS player to have 3,000 passing yards and 1,000 rushing yards. A crazy feat. He looked great, accurate, making throws on the run, just great pocket presence. He has looked phenomenal in the last few games.
Yeah, he's just absolutely unstoppable, and what he's doing is so special. And I still think, I don't know if he will, but he deserves to be in New York.
I agree.
When they,
it's unfortunate they lost those heartbreakers. Or he would be in New York. It's
I know,
unfortunate
and
for
regardless,
two,
he still should. But
yeah,
I mean, you just look at FBS players with 2,500 passing yards and 20 pass touchdowns with 900 rushing yards in the last 30 seasons. You look at him with 4 other names, and those names are Jaden Daniels.
I'm going to come here and say, Will, that stat ESPN threw up, fake.
It's fake.
There's about 15 quarterbacks that have done that.
So why'd they post that?
I don't know. I tweeted it, Will, and then I have everyone telling me that's not a true stat. I know. I'm
sure?
like, yeah. Quentin Flowers did it.
Oh.
Quentin Flowers did it in 2017, I think, or 2016. Yeah, it's like I'm just saying that because I made the same exact mistake.
Was it 20 touchdowns that included in that?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Out of ESPN,
All right, well.
screw ESPN Plus.
Yeah,
But
that's a shame.
yeah, so I think, I don't know. I think there maybe was like a quarterback rating wrinkle in that. I think it was.
Maybe,
I don't know. But I was just saying that, Will, because literally I did the same exact thing, and I was so pissed. I was like, you know what happened? Matt Grothy, USF legend, retweeted me, and I had to take that tweet down because it was false.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, man.
He got in trouble today too, though.
What did he do?
Because all the rumors of Golesh to Arkansas, he was like, why would he go there? Because Golesh's wife would be like, what am I supposed to do in the middle of nowhere, Arkansas? Even though all her family's from there and she owns a business there, and so even he makes mistakes.
Everyone makes mistakes. Okay, but yeah, I don't know anything. USF averaged 12.6 yards per play in the second half against UAB. That is quite impressive, I do say to myself. And I'm always impressed with this. USF is 11-4 during Alex Golesh's career following a loss. You got to be able to buck the trend, and USF has done a very good job of that.
Yeah, I think, overall this game was great, and I think it proved a lot of people wrong because I think everybody said they were going to be distracted and play terrible, and it was going to be a lot closer, but they handled their business, and I know it kind of started off terrible for UAB with the...
That's crazy. Praying for those guys.
Yeah,
that is absolutely
That's
insane.
a hard way to... Especially senior day, too, and it's just sad. 2 players were stabbed on their team before, and a lot of guys opted out of the game. And they were even deciding if they wanted to still play or not, so that was kind of crazy. But they still handled business. USF did, and they got a win, which is what they need to do. I mean, conference game is still in play. Mm-hmm. Although again, it just with all the news today, it's hard to even think about that. But there's still a chance. You have to root for tomorrow. Navy plays Memphis on Thanksgiving, so if the NFL games are boring, even if they are boring, just tune into that, man.
Go Tigers, baby.
Yeah, go Tigers. Got to root for them. And then Friday, North Texas and Temple.
Go Owls.
Yeah, and I think that's, I know Morris is still there and he's going to coach out the rest of the year.
A whole lot of distractions.
But that's a lot of distractions.
Yeah.
Your coach is, that's official. He's gone.
Yeah.
How do you get your players locked in for that game?
Yeah.
And Temple, they've played everybody close. They've given it some good, give everybody some tough battles. They're looking.
They need a win to make bowl eligibility.
There's
some more stakes for them. Mm-hmm. Very, very. Yeah, just root for them, and then if you really, want a small chance and a prayer, you can root for Charlotte to beat Tulane. But I don't think that one's gonna happen.
Yeah, probably not. But I don't know, man.
1 in 10 Charlotte. This is college football, baby.
They were giving Georgia a game.
Hey, they covered. They covered the spread. They covered the spread. But yeah, so that's the scenarios. And USF will obviously also need a win Saturday night. They play the Rice Owls. Yes, they're playing a team named after a food Again, bring back the war on I-4. It's really sickening that I gotta watch USF play Rice in the final week of the season while everyone else is playing their rivals, and that really does make me angry. So that's my first thing. My second thing is, big game. USF, plays against Rice. Again, a lot of distractions, which is unfortunate. But the biggest news on Saturday, regardless of what happens to Alex Golesh, is it is senior night at Raymond James Stadium. It is the final game before the final season at Raymond James Stadium for the USF Bulls. I know that's crazy to let it sink in. And man, this year the Bulls have been phenomenal. They are 5-0 at home. If they win on Saturday, that will be their first undefeated season at home since 2002. Very, very impressive. And they're not only winning at home, they are dominating teams at home. They're winning by an average margin of 34.2 points per game, and they are averaging over 50 points per game at home. It's Saturday after Thanksgiving. Maybe the family's in town. Maybe you want to get away from the family. They're still at your house. Maybe you ran out of Thanksgiving leftovers. Get out to Raymond James Stadium. Watch these guys play, because they are fun to watch, and they are really, really fun to watch at home.
I mean, can I convince you to come even more?
Yeah.
There will be a live bowl.
Oh.
There will be a live bowl at the game between 3:30 and 5:30. What is it? What is his name? Bon Jovi, a 6-year-old, 1,500-pound bucking bull, representing the professional bull riders.
It's a professional athlete. You get to meet a professional athlete.
He will be there from 3:30 to 5:30 near Bulls Bay in the South Plaza of Raymond James Stadium.
That's chills. And
I'm gonna go see him.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
I'm gonna go look.
Yeah.
Try to pet him.
Yeah. But in all seriousness, there's a live bowl, and then there's some, I don't know how I'm going to transition this. There's some live bowls playing their final game at Raymond James. It's senior day. It's senior day at Raymond James. Alex Golesh, before all this nonsense, was talking about senior day, and he said in between 29 and 31 players will walk for senior day. There's some players that still have eligibility, but they're technically a senior. Some players that are trying to get a waiver for eligibility. They're all walking just to be safe, just so they can have that moment just in case. Or maybe if they're going to the NFL, if your name is Byron Brown or someone else. But, so senior day, think about your Mac Harris, your Jalen Shore, the last time you'll get to see them at beautiful Raymond James Stadium. Tavin Ward, Deshaun Rucker, Medea Rubin, Sam Franklin, the big guys up front, a lot of seniors up front. Devin Lee, Trayvon Mitchell, I'm pretty sure.
Cole Best.
Jacob Merrifield. Yeah. So a lot of seniors. Jonas DeClona. A lot of seniors. An important game for them. Hopefully they won't be distracted. But yeah, Rice, it is an interesting team they'll be playing. Rice brings a variation of the triple option offense. It's not exactly the same as what Navy does. A little bit different, but it's a funky offense. They're averaging, I have it down here, 218 rushing yards per game, 13 most in the country, and they have the third most rushing attempts in the FBS. They've ran the ball 563 times this season. Will, what type of challenges does Rice give to USF?
Yeah, I think it definitely starts with Quentin Jackson, their leading running back. He's got 808 yards and 6 touchdowns. He's going to be the guy you got to shut down. Again, you're going to have to stay disciplined in the backfield and, don't get fooled by stuff. Again, we saw with Navy, they got fooled. Their eyes weren't in the right places. They were biting on too many fakes, and it led to some big plays for Navy. So you got to do that. You got to stay locked in and disciplined if you're the defense. I think, Golesh said it best too. This is an offense that gets better by the end of the year. Every single year. I mean, you look at the head coach for Rice. This is his first year, and at Davidson, you can see the same thing. The last couple years he was there, that offense gets better and better and better every game by the end of the year. And they did pretty decent against North Texas running the ball in that game. They've had some Quentin Jackson himself. He's had some big games throughout the season, so you really have to shut them down. Their quarterback, he hasn't thrown the ball a lot, but expect it to happen again. They've seen the Navy tape. They've seen you can kind of lull the defense asleep and then come up with some big explosive passing plays over the top. So, yeah, again, you have to stay really, really disciplined on defense. I think on the offensive side, man, Rice's defense is terrible.
Yeah.
Let's just be straight up. They're terrible. They are 100th in passing defense and 111th in rushing defense in the nation. Mestamaker last week for North Texas threw all over them, 469 passing yards. They gave up 171 rushing yards. It's 5.3 yards a carry. They give up nearly 30.5 points a game this season.
Yeesh.
They're pretty terrible. So I think USF, you should have a day on offense. Byron Brown should have this is his last game as a Bull. He should go out on top in Raymond James Stadium with a huge day. And again, I think the defense should be okay. But again, you just have to stay disciplined. You've shown on tape, at least against Navy. I know it's a little bit of a different offense, but you've shown on tape you can be susceptible to that kind of option offense. So you really have to lock in and stay disciplined to get this win.
I agree. I think for USF's offense, it's just important to stay ahead of the chains. Not getting that lull. And again, just play with intent. This is your last game of the regular season. This could be your first 9-win regular season since 2017. So again, on offense, not turning the ball over, not allowing yourself to get in a stupid 3rd and long. Those are going to be the keys, because if you stay on the chains, you should score pretty much every time you touch the ball, to be honest. And then on defense, like you said, Will, I'm interested to see if the scheme is a little bit different, because I think there was a lot of things that Todd Orlando did against Navy that I feel like, looking back, was not the wisest choice, where he had people, the way he had people, attacking blots, the gaps, whatever it was. So I think, that'll be interesting to see. But it mostly just, again, how violent are they playing? How much are they swarming the ball? Are they forcing turnovers? Are they making the big, patented big USF hits that we've seen all season long? What type of focus are they playing with? What type of intent are they playing with? Are they playing like this is their opportunity to get back on the football field one last time? Or are they playing, one foot out the door? That'll be the biggest question on Saturday.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, get some revenge on them, because they really kind of ruined the end of last season. So
what did Golesh said something funny at the press conference. He was like, "Man, that we played." He just stressed how bad that game was. Mm-hmm. I can't remember. He said something funny, but yeah, he stressed how bad that game was. That was one of the more shocking USF games I think we've had since we've started covering them. Yeah, that was
just couldn't stop. Who was it? EJ Warner.
Yeah, it was a lefty quarterback, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was a bad game.
Yeah, they were down 35-14 at one point in that game. They almost came back, but
yeah, never should have.
Yeah.
Again, and that was that was definitely. I know that probably stings for Golesh, because that could have been their one game improvement for last year that kept them at 6-6 instead of 7-5. So I think they will come out. So yeah, again, what type of focus, what type of intent will they play with is the biggest question.
Mm-hmm.
What do you got
for this game?
Yeah,
prediction.
Unless you got anything else you want to say about it.
Yeah, I mean, it really comes. I mean, hopefully, good news. The good ending to all this is that Golesh is staying at least on Saturday, and everybody's going to be locked in, and we're going to have a fun end of the season. I still think they win no matter what. What I think if he stays or doesn't stay is kind of the bigger concern scoring-wise. Not so much if they win or not. I still think they would win. But I'll say 44-13. USF wins. 44-13.
I'll say 57-21 USF wins. And I'll say that even if Alex Golesh leaves. I think these guys come out firing.
Okay.
All right, so a little bit of, hot, cold with the Bulls. It's all cold with Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They've lost 4 of their last 5 games. They got shellacked by the Los Angeles Rams 34-7 on Sunday night. Will, what's your takeaways from this game? Or just the Bucs?
Yeah, just terrible defense. I know, it just seems like it can't get any worse than it does, especially over these, ever since the bye week, really. They've just they just continue to find ways to let us down, and there's more injuries and this and that. But I really think this game was over after the Rams' first drive. It really was.
After 3rd and 18.
Yeah. This game was over, and you couldn't stop them on defense. And I know me and Joel talked about this last week. I was really concerned about this game. I think we both said it, that they could easily get killed in this game. First time in like 2 years, in 2 years I predicted a Bucs loss. Actually,
wow.
I don't know if you watched, but yeah, I predicted a loss. And it just, of course, it just goes the way you expect it to. Like they didn't come out competitive. And yeah, that was really all she wrote. I think the biggest thing too is Baker going down. I know the MRI reports came out, said it's just a mild sprain in his left shoulder, and that he'll be back. He could even be back this week. Although I think we would probably both agree that might not be the best idea.
Don't play him this week.
But yeah, I think they dodged a bullet there. Like, he had that pretty terrible injury in 2021 to the Browns, and he played through it. And that's kind of what led them to moving on from him.
Yeah.
He's got a Warriors heart and played through it, but the Browns were sick of him, even though he gave them the most success they've had this century. But yeah, so that's the good news. Good news that it's not bad. But yeah, bad news is he just got hurt in the way he did, and that didn't help, and that just kind of ended the game for him as well. Okay, should I keep going? I mean, it's really just bad defense.
It's just bad defense. What has happened to Zion McCollum?
Mm-hmm.
You said this, and I hate that it's true. You get paid, and you just did a different type of player after someone gets paid. Obviously, Zion McCollum got extended right before the season started, and his play has reflected someone who is now feeling comfortable, which is unfortunate. You want to keep your play up when you're playing, that way. Again, I think the pass rush was pretty dormant, and honestly, again, I think this was a second game in a row where I think, Sean McVay, I don't know who the offensive coordinator is over there, who's running it now, kind of ran laps around Todd Bowles. I think the schemes they were running, some really creative stuff, and there were just way too many times where players were wide open, where players were schemed wide open. The blitzes weren't getting home, and I think that is a part of, again, you can, say, oh, the blitzes aren't getting home, you got to scheme up a better blitz. But again, it's really hard to, play a team when you know that they're not going to be able to generate pressure with 4 people. And that's where the Bucs are right now. No Kalijah Kancey, no Hassan Reddick. This team really has no threat of any type of pass rush, from the defensive line or from the linebackers. And again, it's really easy to, know that either they're going to drop in coverage, you're going to have all time in the world, or they're going to blitz. Like, there is no, threat of any type of pass rush, which makes a defense predictable, which makes it easy to go against. So I think that's where the Bucs are right now. Hassan Reddick was back at practice, which I think will be huge. All these people were telling me that Hassan Reddick had done nothing, that he was terrible, and 4 games without him, it's a completely different defense. I was telling you guys that he was playing good. Again, all these people, pressure rate, they mean nothing. You can't sack quarterback every single time. Sorry, I'm just ranting now at this point. But again, the defense has to improve. There's no help coming. There's defensive injury players coming back, but the guys on this defense have to improve. Zion McCollum has to improve. Antoine Winfield has to improve. Jacob Parrish has to improve. These guys, we've seen higher level play from them. Levante Davis, Servache Dennis, they have to get better. We've seen higher level of play from both of them. Even guys like Vita Vea and Greg Gangs, Logan Hall, like those guys have to do a better job up front. And yeah, I think the improvement has to start. And again, we're in that's the thumbnail of the video last week was the Todd Bowles slump as commits, and we're really in it. And unfortunately, it's a pattern. The schedule, the 31st ranked remaining schedule in the NFL, the second easiest. So it will get better, but I'm not sold on this team being any different from last year's team.
A lot to unpack there. I think I'll start with Zion. Yeah, he's just not playing acceptable. It's just not acceptable with the money he's been given. And I think a lot of people go, well, why didn't we play Jamel Dean that money? Well, what's Jamel Dean's contract look like? He's a free agent. He's looking to get big bucks. this offseason. So it's the same thing. It is the same exact thing. That is just a thing with pro sports, and it's really not just football. It's a contract year, and these guys magically have great seasons, and then they sign with somebody else, or they sign an extension, and then they just kind of fall off the next year, and you go, "What happened?" But yeah, just unacceptable play for that money. At the end of the day, that's still a fact, and I think with this defense. You're talking about blitzing, and it's like I feel like they didn't even blitz that much. They were trying to win with 4, and I think Todd Bowles does this thing when he gets injuries in the secondary where he goes into a bigger zone concept and doesn't dial up the blitzes because they're so afraid they get beat over top and give up a big play. And you end up doing that anyway because Stafford has all day to throw the football. And I think that's one of his biggest flaws. Like you just didn't get after him at all. You didn't make Stafford uncomfortable. He could sit back and find Devontae Adams or Puka Nacua or the 20 tight ends they have. I don't even know any of them, but I feel like they have 20 tight ends who play in that game.
Parkinson's disease. Eastlake High School legend Tyler Higbee wasn't playing, but
and they got Ferguson. And it's like he didn't even see. I don't even think he saw a ball till the second half. And it's like I thought he was their best tight end outside of what's his name, but. Yeah, you just didn't do anything competitive on defense, and I think that was his biggest flaw. Back to McCollum, though, it's crazy that he was being targeted against more than Kendall Vildor out there, even because Dean and Morrison were hurt. That's embarrassing. And I think too with this pass rush, again, just horrible. And you look at Chris Braswell. We have a JTS 2.0.
Yeah.
Seriously. That guy is just non-existent. I think, another guy like Logan Hall. That was a first-round pick. Can you believe that?
Yeah.
And that's the production you're getting from a first-round pick. Greg Gaines, I understand. You're not a starter. You're more of a depth guy. I understand if
Same
he's
thing
not
with
getting,
Anthony Nelson. Those guys are depth guys. They're being
I
thrust in
understand
the
them
roles.
not getting there. But Anthony Nelson has been more productive than a lot of the guys on that defensive line. So... and then he gets hurt, which stinks.
Yeah, it's just, again, I think you used the word embarrassing for Zion McCollum. I think it was just a really shameful, embarrassing defensive effort. Again, this was the Bucs' biggest loss since 2022 when they got shellacked by the 49ers. And it really looked like, again, the Rams just shut it down. They scored 31 first half points. They just shut it down in the second half. They weren't trying. They were just on cruise control. They were really able to do whatever they wanted in that first half. And they were able to shut down. And it's just, that's not where the Bucs should be. Even with the injuries, you have too much talent to lay down like that. And I thought it was just a really, really poor effort from both sides of the ball, really. Yeah,
I think offense was pretty bad too. I know Baker gets hurt, but I just think what's really been bad, I think, has been play calling. I think play calling has gotten extremely poor, and pass protection.
Horrible.
The O-line, is just they've been great in run blocking. I think the run game has looked pretty good. They ran for 123 yards in this game, but just pass protection has been horrible. 18 pressures, 4 sacks given up.
I just want to say, talking about first-round picks that are being disappointing, Graham Barton, man.
Yeah, what happened? Man?
Seriously. He every week, I know PFF grades aren't everything, but in the 40s every single week.
Yeah.
It is terrible. And again, this pressure is coming from inside, and it's not like a bunch of blitz or anything. It's just not being able to pick up stunts and not being able to hold your water and not get bowled over. I think the interior, again, you have no Malk, you have no Brederson for this game. That really hurts your interior, and that shows. Going from Malk and Brederson to Feeney and Michael Jordan has been a big downgrade for the Bucs, and that has been apparent. But man, Graham Barton has got to step up.
I know. Well, that's a problem too. They've had backups for both guard positions, and even Gedeke has gone down for a lot of time this year, but I feel like the biggest problem has been Barton.
Yeah.
A lot of the time, you've just seen plays, there's been more plays sticking out to me watching these games of Barton getting blown up in the run game, or just getting bullied in the pass game than I've seen Feeney or Michael Jordan or Haggard. I haven't seen those guys just visibly get blown up on a play as many times as I've seen Barton. So, again, that's a first-round pick. The standard should be a lot different. So,
yeah, I agree. I think we have to move just move into the Cardinals game unless you have one quick.
Yeah, I mean, what's there to talk about?
They got
game?
smoked.
They got embarrassed, and it was over, like I said, by the first drive of the Rams. So.
And yeah, I will come on record and say playing Baker Mayfield this Sunday is downright stupid. I think the Bucs have been pretty irresponsible with managing injuries. I think putting Baker Mayfield back in the game on Sunday night was downright stupid. I follow us on Instagram. Did a whole video on all the times that Buccaneers players have played through injury and either gone out or have gone out right after it. It's kind of piling up and it's kind of being a lot. Playing Baker Mayfield against the lowly Cardinals with their backup quarterback, Jacoby Brissett, Florida Gators legend. I get it, but if you can't beat the Cardinals at home with your backup quarterback, there's bigger problems. You have to rest Baker. You have to, preserve him for the stretch run. You have to give him this week off. If you play Teddy Bridgewater, that shows a lot more about your team and your lack of trust in your backup quarterback, who you should trust. You got rid of your second-round draft pick for this guy, Teddy Bridgewater. You should trust him. I think it's irresponsible to play Baker on Sunday. I really hope they do not.
Although Baker said today, if I can physically play Sunday, I will.
Again, he could say that. The coaching staff has got to protect these guys from themselves. Yeah. I mean, think about all the injury trouble Bucky Irving's been going through. He played the entire end of the Philadelphia Eagles game. And he comes back the next day and he's like, oh, I have a messed up shoulder and a messed up ankle. Like, what are we doing? Sorry, that's a rant.
Yeah, I mean, I think we will see Bridgewater play. I mean, he was taking all of the reps today while Baker was just kind of sitting there. I don't think it was a walkthrough, and I don't think he even participated really even in the walkthrough, so that kind of shows you, I mean, they're giving Bridgewater as many reps as they can, and I think you should be able to win with Bridgewater, but I said this from the beginning, the moment they signed him, man, I just do not like him, and I do not think he is a solid backup. And I just question a lot of things about him if he cares enough to play. And I think you should be able to. I agree with you. Can you win with Teddy Bridgewater as your backup, though? And that's a question I have because that game was over against the Rams. And I guess he didn't even travel with the team on Sunday. And he said, I think his mentor passed away or something. So he was late to get to the game. And that could be some of the reasons, why. But he just looked slow. He looked sloppy. And I was talking to you earlier. I mean, just the no-look throwing the ball up like that. That's just so stupid. And for a veteran quarterback and a backup, making stupid plays like that are just unacceptable. I don't care if the game's over, if you have no chance, if you didn't prepare this week like you were going to play. It's just unacceptable and you can't do that. So I question if Bridgewater is the backup that can get it done. I didn't want the Bucs to get him in the first place. I thought they were fine with Trask, that somebody who's been in the offense, knows what he's doing. I really don't understand that move to begin with. So should they win with a backup? Yes. Can they win with Bridgewater? I don't know. Okay, I really don't. And I am concerned about that if he is the guy to go. I'm being honest with you. Because I think Jacoby Brissett, he's been playing pretty well.
He has been tearing it up.
He leads the NFL in passing attempts per game since taking over the starting role. He's kept them in games. They took the Jacksonville Jags to overtime last week. And there's been times this season where he's looked pretty good. Did they not beat the Dallas Cowboys with Jacoby Brissett starting?
Did they? I thought they lost. I think they did. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
This guy is a competitor, and you've just seen how bad the defense is. I don't know if they can stop them. I know the Cardinals defense is solid with Jonathan Gannon, defensive-minded guy coming from the Eagles. This could still be a tough game for the Buccaneers. I just don't think it's that simple as, we're so much better than we should win with the backup. I think there's a lot of things to be concerned about with this Cardinals team because they are going to give you a game. Gannon's playing for his job. Brissett is playing for his job. He wants to continue to have a starting role in the NFL. These guys are going to come, and give you a game.
Yeah, I think that is why Baker, no Baker, the running game will be so important for the Buccaneers on Saturday, or excuse me, Sunday. They've come back-to-back games with over 100 yards rushing. And it looks like Bucky Irving will return, which should be a nice boost for the offense. Ben Bredesen practiced today, so it might be getting some reinforcements in the running game. But it's looked good without. Sean Tucker has looked really good. Rashad White's been solid. So that is a crucial thing they have to impose, especially if Bridgewater's playing. You have to be able to run the ball if you're going to have Teddy Bridgewater. You can't just have him drop back 30 or 40 times.
Oh yeah, certainly not. And I think I'm glad you brought that up because I think that is the one thing where I think the Bucs can have success on offense, which is really what they've been having in the running game because the Cardinals last week against the Jags, they give up 134 yards on the ground to them. They shut down, Trevor Lawrence, I don't know. Investigate him for gambling.
He's Jameis Winston. He's white Jameis Winston. That's literally what he is.
With no electric plays.
No.
Jameis,
he doesn't have the receiving prowess of Jameis Winston. I agree. I'm ready to give you a prediction.
All right, yeah. Do you want me to go through injuries real quick?
Yeah.
We've talked about Bucky should play a limited role, of course. Godwin, we kind of saw him on a pitch count versus the Rams, but he should have a bigger role.
Yeah, Todd Bowles said he came out of the game feeling pretty good, was his quote. Mm-hmm. So that's a good sign. Hopefully it should increase.
Yeah, Jamel Dean, he should return this Sunday as well. Morrison will not. Cardinals have a lot of injuries too, to be honest with you. Let me just read your report. Will Hernandez, one of their starting guards, he didn't practice today. Walter Nolan didn't practice today. He's their starting D lineman. Josh Sweat, the big guy they signed from the Eagles, he didn't practice today. Trey Benson could come back, a running back, which could help them a lot. Xavier Weaver's banged up, one of their receivers. Marvin Harrison Jr., he's been limited. He might not play. They got a lot of injuries on their side too. Baron Browning, another pass rusher they got, he's in concussion protocol. So this could be a get-back game for the Bucs, but I still am sticking with my roots here, my guts, that this is going to be a lot tougher than what people are saying. So
I think it's going to be tough as well. I think Bridgewater will end up playing. I think the Bucs are just in a spot where they can't force Baker Mayfield back into action. I think he will play. I think it will be gritty. It won't be pretty. There's going to be plenty of moments in this game where it's going to be infuriating, to be honest. You're going to be like, are we really down, at halftime against the Cardinals? I think that's what we're looking at, but I think the Bucs will pull through. I think they will win this game 23-16 at Raymond James Stadium. Shout out Simeon Rice into the Ring of Honor.
Yeah, that's
it's a nice boost.
Yeah. He deserves it. He is a NFL street legend. That's like almost borderline before my time, but NFL street, Simeon Rice on defense, man, what a player. What a player. I think the Bucs win too. I'm gonna say 21-16 Bucs.
Yeah, we're in the same wavelength. Yeah,
it's gonna be a tough, gritty game. I think they get it done. Just because the Cardinals are banged up too, but it's going to be a lot tougher than people think. And I won't sit here and be surprised if we're talking about a loss next week either. I'm just being honest with you.
And that will be a Sky is Falling episode for sure. So real quick, if you guys don't know, this Saturday, Sunshine State Showdown. Cue the John Cena versus The Rock video. But again, big game for me and Will. Will, lifelong FSU fan. Colby, me, talking about myself in the third person apparently. Lifelong Florida Gators fan. If you guys don't know, over on TB3 University, the hierarchy of, how we, talk about the teams where, we always talk about USF first because it's the hometown team. It's the team we cover. They're first in the state of Florida, maybe behind Miami. And then whichever team wins the Sunshine State Showdown gets to be talked about last. This year it's been the Florida Gators. They won last year with Mr. Billy Napier at the helm. But this Saturday, 4:30, I don't even know what channel it is. Probably like Comedy Central.
Cartoon Network.
Yeah. A big game.
Tubi.
It's like more TV. But I don't know. I think it'll be. I think it's. I like when games have stakes. Like I like that FSU needs to win to get bowl eligibility against the Gators. That's always funny. Will, any quick thoughts on this game?
Not really. Not really. Like I just think you get up to play this game. Like you're gonna get good games from both teams, and I think it will end. Like I think for any fan watching, it'll be an entertaining game. I think it'll be honestly close. Like I don't.
Oh yeah.
I don't see anybody like blowing any team
like
out.
9-6 probably.
Yeah. Like I think it's just gonna be a tough, gritty game, especially being in the swamp. Like it's gonna how bad Florida State is on the road.
Is Florida's best strategy for Billy Gonzalez to just punt the ball as many times to Florida State as they can?
Yeah, because it's just because I think it'll be like both teams are going to throw interceptions. The goal will be to just give it to the other offense so they can't do anything. No, I think like because you can't afford to pick six. Like that would be detrimental to either side.
First team to 10 points wins.
Like, I think it's so funny too because, like, again, I thought at least that the Gators would look better on offense without Napier. And it's like maybe this guy was the smartest guy in the building because, like, again, I thought like they surely would run Bob more. Like he'll surely become the focal part of that offense, and then it's like they still do the same stupid things that Napier was doing. But like I think if the Gators can run the ball, like really establish the run game with ball, they actually could beat the Seminoles pretty easily because I think the Seminoles just can't stop the run to save their lives. But again, if they come out with like stupid offenses, just bad plays, no smart plays depending on the down and distance and being way too conservative, then I think Florida State has a chance.
On the flip side, Florida. One of the most abysmal performances I've ever seen against Tennessee. Only the second time Tennessee has won in the Swamp in my entire lifetime. Some of the worst tackling I've ever seen in my life. If Florida can't tackle Florida State will move the ball at will. They have a lot of slippery players. They got, Tommy Castellanos is slippery. Deuce Robinson's a good wide receiver. Danzy is fast. If you can't tackle, you're not going to stop them. They're going to have big plays. They've shown that they can put up big points. I don't know.
See, I think we both think for our teams are going to play terrible. I think Florida State's going to dominate us on offense, and I think Florida State's going to dominate the Gators on offense.
Yeah, and I think this could be a rare thing where I think we might have different picks, but I think it might be flipped.
Yeah, I'm picking Florida.
I'm picking Florida State. Oh, boy. That is how far these programs have fallen. We are both picking the opposite team on rivalry week. But yeah, rivalry week, Thanksgiving. Tell your family you love them. We love you guys. Go watch some college football. Some great games on the slate. Sink down on the couch. Watch some college football. 7 p.m. ESPN U, I think, or Plus.
Plus, it's Plus.
It's Plus. ESPN Plus. So if you don't have ESPN Plus, get out to Raymond James Stadium. Final game, senior day. Get there early. Support the Bulls. Then on Sunday, 1 o'clock, Raymond James Stadium, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It could be one of the best Thanksgiving weekends of all time. You could watch the Bulls and Bucs win at Raymond James back to back.
Yeah, and I think, too, like, again, weird relatives on Thanksgiving. Stay away from them. That's why we're posting this episode. So you disappear. You say, I got to go to the bathroom, got to take a walk. You can watch our episode. Then you can sneak away while everybody's, arguing about the NFL games. Go watch Navy and root for Memphis. Then watch the Bulls on Saturday if relatives are still there. And then go to the Bucs game. Go to the Bulls game, too. Get out of the house. No need to talk politics awkwardly or eat bad food depending on whose house you're at. I know that's a thing. But yeah, we got it all set out for you. Thank you guys for watching.
Yeah. Will, before we go, favorite Thanksgiving dish?
Favorite Thanksgiving dish? I am a big green bean casserole guy.
Okay.
Oh, I love it.
All right.
What's crazy is maybe it's because maybe like maybe it's a white person thing. I never have mac and cheese on
Really?
Thanksgiving. Like everybody says, oh, mac and cheese, mac and
That's
cheese.
definitely a Southern thing.
Yeah, I've never had mac and cheese on Thanksgiving.
I gotta say, I'm a turkey believer. I love turkey. It has to be done right, but my family, they do turkey right. It's delicious. There's too much turkey slander going around the world. Turkey is good when it's done right. You just don't have relatives that can cook. I didn't say that, though.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I might be too white and unseasoned. You know?
Yeah, it's gonna be dry.
Yeah.
You need the Southern cooking. And then I'm a sweet potato casserole fiend. I mean, just delicious stuff. Also, I'll throw back about six or seven rolls. Like seriously though, I go crazy on the rolls on Thanksgiving. Apple pie. What's your favorite pie?
I really like pecan pie.
Yeah, that's solid pick. Solid pick. All right. Let us know your favorite Thanksgiving dish. Let us know your thoughts on the Bulls. Is Alex Golesh going to stay? Is he going to leave? Let us know your thoughts on the Bucs. Will they bounce back this weekend? And yeah, follow us or subscribe on the YouTube. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on X. Subscribe, like the video, comment, and most importantly, have a beautiful and blessed night.